I knew something was wrong the moment she came home that night. Emily's perfume lingered longer than usual, the sharp sweetness cutting through the stale air of our quiet living room. She moved differently too. Her steps quicker, distracted, like she was carrying a secret and couldn't quite put it down. "Fun night?" I asked, my voice too casual, too light for the storm building in my chest. She froze just for a second before smiling. "Yeah, just drinks with the girls. You know how it is." But I did know. After 10 years of marriage, after building a life together, raising 2 kids, paying off a mortgage brick by brick, I knew every inflection in her voice. And that night, she wasn't telling me the whole truth. At first, I brushed it off as paranoia. Maybe I was being insecure. Work had been draining me, and I wasn't giving her the attention she deserved. But the signs piled up quickly. Late-night showers. A phone that never left her hand. The sudden urge to reconnect with old friends she hadn't mentioned in years. One night, as I put the kids to bed, I caught her in the kitchen, whispering into her phone. Her voice was soft, almost girlish. "I can't stop thinking about last night. I'll see you soon." The words gutted me. The next morning, I confronted her. "Who were you talking to?" I asked, trying to keep my tone steady. She blinked at me, feigning confusion. "What are you talking about?" I leaned against the counter, staring into her eyes. The same eyes I had looked into on our wedding day. The same eyes that had shone with tears when our children were born. "Last night," I said. "The phone call." "Don't lie to me, Emily." Her lips trembled, but she forced out a laugh. "You're imagining things, John. You're tired. You've been working too much. Gaslighting me. Making me feel like the crazy one." That was the moment I realized I wasn't paranoid. I was being played. A week later, I found out the truth. Her phone buzzed while she was in the shower. I shouldn't have looked, I know that. But curiosity has a cruel way of turning into survival when your gut tells you something's wrong. The message was short, direct. "Last night was wild. Can't wait to see you again, baby." My chest tightened as I scrolled through the thread. His name was D. A man she'd met on a girls' night out. From the way she wrote to him, it wasn't just lust. It was obsession. And he wasn't just any man. He was trouble. A thug with a record, the kind of guy she once told me she'd never go near. Yet here she was, throwing away 10 years of marriage, our children's stability, everything we had built, just to chase him. That night, I waited for her to come home. When she walked through the door, I held up her phone. "Who's D?" I asked. The color drained from her face. She opened her mouth, closed it, then whispered, "John, please." "Please what?" Snap. "Please don't ask questions. Please pretend like my wife isn't sneaking around with some thug she met on a night out." Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't mean for it to happen. You just what?" My voice cracked. "You just decided 10 years, 2 kids, a family wasn't enough? You just decided I wasn't enough." Her silence was louder than any confession. 2 weeks later, she was gone. She packed a bag, kissed the kids goodbye like it was just another school day, and walked out. "Where are you going?" I asked, my voice breaking. "I need to live my life, John. I can't keep pretending. I love him." Her words sliced through me, sharp and final. The kids stood behind me, confused, clutching their stuffed animals. They didn't understand why Mommy was leaving. I didn't either. For the first few days, I was numb. I went through the motions, packing lunches, dropping the kids off at school, going to work. At night, I lay in bed staring at the empty space beside me, my mind replaying every memory, every laugh, every moment we'd shared. How could she erase it all so easily? But the numbness didn't last. Turned to rage. When she came to pick up the kids for the weekend, she was wearing a tight dress, her hair styled like she was 20 again. "Don't bring him around my children," I said coldly. She scoffed. "He's part of my life now. They'll have to get used to it." "Over my dead body," I growled. I hired a lawyer the next week. Emily thought she could run off with some thug and still play the role of mother, but I wasn't about to let my kids grow up around that chaos. She left willingly, my lawyer said. Abandonment works in your favor, especially if we can prove her new partner's criminal history. For the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of hope. But Emily fought back. She showed up at mediation with her new man by her side. His arms covered in tattoos, a smirk plastered across his face. "You can't take my kids from me," she snapped. "They need their mother." I clenched my fists. A mother doesn't walk out on her family for some guy she barely knows. Her eyes narrowed. "At least he makes me feel alive." The room went silent. Even her lawyer shifted uncomfortably. Alive. I thought back to all the nights I stayed up rocking our sick daughter to sleep. The times I worked overtime so she could stay home with the kids. The anniversaries, the birthdays, the sacrifices. Wasn't that life? Wasn't that love? The custody battle dragged on for months. Every hearing was a knife twisting deeper. Emily painted me as controlling, bitter, incapable of letting her move on. She claimed I was trying to punish her for finding happiness. But I had something stronger than anger on my side. I had proof. Photos of her and her thug boyfriend stumbling out of bars at 3 a.m. Police reports of his arrests. Witnesses who had seen her neglect the kids during her weekends. Piece by piece, her facade crumbled. The day of the final hearing, she broke down. Standing before the judge, tears streaking her face, she whispered, "I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wanted to feel wanted again." Her words should have softened me. They should have reminded me of the woman I once loved. But all I felt was sorrow. For the kids who lost their mother to her recklessness. For the life we built that she tossed aside like trash. The judge awarded me primary custody. Emily was granted visitation, but only supervised. That night I tucked the kids into bed. My daughter asked, "Daddy, when's Mommy coming home?" I kissed her forehead, holding back tears. "I don't know, sweetheart. But Daddy's here. Always." As I sat alone in the quiet, I thought about everything we had lost. I didn't win. Not really. There's no victory in broken families. No joy in tearing children between two worlds. But I had something Emily threw away without a second thought. Loyalty. Responsibility. Love that doesn't vanish when temptation calls. And that, I realized, was stronger than anything she ever gave me.